Namo Adita Phat. Good morning. Thank you for joining me for our daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The second mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by exploitation, social injustice, stealing, and oppression, I vow to cultivate loving kindness and learn ways to work for the well-being of people, animals, plants, and minerals. I will practice generosity by sharing my time, energy, and material resources with those who are in real need. I'm determined not to steal and not to possess anything that should belong to others. I will respect the property of others, but I will prevent others from profiting from human suffering or the suffering of other species on earth. Our Dharma reading today is Cultivating Present Moment Perception by Ajahn Yatiko from Beginning Our Day by the Monastics of Abhayagiri Monastery. When we think about something repeatedly, it tends to become a fixed perception for us, and we think about it even more. For example, if we have a work project and think about it throughout the day, we build up that perception of the project, and our tendency to think and proliferate around it becomes a world unto itself, a perceptual world we inhabit. This world-creating tendency builds momentum throughout the day, throughout the week. When we go up to our kutis in the afternoon and do sitting and walking meditation, these worlds we've created manifest themselves, and we think about them yet again. But the corollary is also true. If we cultivate the perception of the present moment, that too will develop momentum. This does not mean, however, that cultivating this perception comes easily. When we get onto the walking path, for instance, there may be a tendency to think about computers, to think about a work project or whatever. The untrained mind naturally wants to wander or obsess and proliferate, to disconnect from what is happening now. So we need to exercise discipline, saying to ourselves, no, now is the time to be in the present moment. Sometimes getting the mind back on track simply requires us to relax our mental efforts. This can calm the mind so it's able to come back, seemingly of its own accord. Other times we need to exert a conscious effort to reconnect with the present. At first, when we do that, we can only sustain the connection for a little while before losing it again. That's because it's a perception. Left to its own devices, it comes and goes like all other perceptions. If we want to sustain this present moment perception, to develop a mastery around it, we have to cultivate the perception repeatedly, over and over again. When some little obstacle pushes us off in this direction or that direction, we do our best to find our way, to find a direction in which we can drop all obstacles and come back to the present. Experiencing the present moment is always a relief and always refreshing. If we're not experiencing it that way, it's probably not the present moment. It's possible that there's some residual attachment we're not seeing or acknowledging. So while it is true that cultivating a perception of the present moment is our duty, it's also true that fulfilling this duty is a most gratifying and uplifting experience. Remembering that point, we can undertake our duty with enthusiasm and a light heart. As monastics living here at Abhayagiri, we have the opportunity and support to cultivate this present moment perception. Such cultivation is vital. It's an invaluable tool for developing the mind and creating a foundation for deep insights into who we are, into the nature of this mind and body. Let us use this day for cultivating our perception of and connection with the present moment. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you so much for joining me this morning.